after cruising 26 cruises, one of which was a world cruise, this is my first solo cruise. So how did it go? What did I think? Did it meet my expectations? I'll see you guys tomorrow morning when we board. Would I do it again? We're going to cover all of it here today, so let's go. Hi everyone, I'm Leslie, and if you know me, you know travel is my jam. I will fly, train, cruise, walk, hike, all of it. I love it. The world is an incredibly extraordinary place, and I want to discover every single inch of it. So today, we are taking my very first solo cruise on the Navigator of the Seas. Now, I'm sure you're wondering why solo. So after cruising the world for 9 months, I was home for 3 and really struggling. I just had seen such incredible places that being home just felt very humdrum, to be honest. So of course, what's the answer to being sad? Book a cruise. The Navigator of the Seas had a great solo rate. Sounds awesome, right? Well, I'll tell you all about that. Quick, before we leave, I want to just tell you a little bit about packing for a solo cruise. Absolutely no one is going to remember what you wear. So I will sever an arm before I check a bag onto an airplane. I pack all basics: black skirt, black pants, white shirt, white tank, just anything that can mix and match, a maxi dress, my flip-flops and swimsuit, of course, a cover up, some sandals for a dressier night, my emergency kit. If you want to know more about that, put emergency in the comments and I'll send you all that's in my emergency pack. It's everything that I travel with and I don't go anywhere without it. And of course, the lanyard on my phone. Do you really need all those clothes that you want to pack? The answer is no. And carrying a carry-on onto the ship and off the ship, which is almost more critical, is, just trust me, you will want to carry your bag at all costs. And I'll tell you about that more later. Don't forget your own shampoo and conditioner. What they provide on the cruise ships is not what you want to put in your hair. There's a blow dryer on board, and I always bring my flat iron. The flat iron can double as a clothes iron too. Don't forget your wrinkle release. You spray it on your clothes, put those clothes in the bathroom when you take a shower, and all the wrinkles will be gone anyway. We can't forget my Steve Madden hat. Next up is traveling and the hotel. Now, you will always hear that it is critical that you travel the day before your cruise leaves.
It's happening. You and me, we're on our way.
And I 100% or almost agree with that. On this cruise, I booked the night before. But would I do that next time? I'm not so sure. There are so many flights between Phoenix and Long Beach, I'm not sure it's necessary. I did in this case, and I stayed at the Crowne Plaza Hotel. Okay, we made it to Long Beach. I'm looking out the window here, trying to see the Navigator, our ship we're gonna board tomorrow morning, and it is not out there. The port is literally across the street from the hotel. It's on its way from Puerto Vallarta and won't be at the dock until like 2 o'clock in the morning. So we're just gonna have to wait until we board the ship tomorrow morning at 10:30 to see it. I'm gonna walk from the hotel to the World Cruise Center, which is about 20 minutes. So as soon as I get down the road and I turn the corner, we should be able to see it from the water. We're walking to the cruise terminal. Will we see her? The Navigator that's taking us to Mexico? Oh, please, there she is. We're through security. We're on the escalator on our way into the ship. Okay, good start at the casino. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. After spending 9 months on the Serenade, it feels a little unfaithful and different and pretty. You know, it's all a royal ship. It just, my heart will always be with the Serenade. Welcome to the Navigator, Leslie, and to all of her followers.
pretty.
You can't check into your room until typically after 1 p.m. And I checked in on board about 11. So I just got my room key. Your room key is typically always on your door, although you can't go in yet because they're trying to prep all the rooms and you just want to stay out of their way.
Okay, I just got the stink eye from the room steward for going to my room early. But listen to this, my room steward, his name is Leslie. What?
I got my room key and then I went to eat some lunch and kind of explore the ship.
Okay, those beds are cool. Probably the only time I'm ever going to see those beds empty. I'll have to come back after I eat. This is the solarium pool. That looks so zen. Oh, the wind gym are so pretty. Wow.
Booked a junior suite and I did that for a couple reasons besides just dealing with my cruise sadness, was to reach 340 crown and anchor points. That is critical for a solo traveler because once you reach that point, cruising solo becomes cheaper. By booking a suite, you actually get 3 crown and anchor points. So now it's 1 o'clock and we can get into our room.
Let's go check out our suite. Wow, it's big in here. This is going to be comfy for a week. Look at that. Ooh, a nice bottle of champagne. Hello, Monet Chandon. I'm digging it. Let's check out the balcony.
While we're talking about the suite, I want to tell you that I used American Express Travel, which afforded me a 300 onboard travel agent credit, and I'm a Royal Caribbean shareholder, which is another $100 onboard credit. So this helped my screaming rate even more. We're off to a great start. Day 2, we're in Ensenada.
Welcome to Ensenada, everyone. We're doing the La Cava Marcelo shore excursion today in Ensenada, which is wine and cheese and Romanetti cheese. Has anyone heard of Romanetti cheese? I'm a huge foodie and never heard of it. So, but wine and cheese and Mexican lunch has my name written all over it. So let's go see what Ensenada's got for us.
I've been to Ensenada several times and usually just wander the town. You have to stop at Anthony Bourdain's favorite food cart, and I always get a margarita, get some lunch. So doing a tour here was a switch up for me. But again, traveling solo, I wanted to be part of a group and being able to see something different. The ranch for the cheese tour is about an hour outside the cruise terminal through the Hoyos Nuevos Valley to the ranch. We visited the stables where the cows live and learned about the process of making cheese from their milk.
We're gonna have cold water running inside this tank in here.
We were given the opportunity to sample the delicious, fresh, and all-natural ice cream they make here.
No, we buy them.
As well as a tour of the cheese cave. The cave not only has the aging cheese, but has an incredible table setting for us to sample 8 cheese varieties as well as have a glass of wine. Now that in and of itself would have been a great tour, but we weren't done here. We have another pairing of 3 more cheeses and 2 craft beer samples. So now I'm full, right? Nope. Now we have a full-blown lunch. So of course I am fat and happy on the bus on our way home.
Okay, so La Cava Marcelo is a wrap. We had tons of cheese, incredible wine, beers, aged cheese, rosemary cheese, black pepper cheese, quesadilla, a portobello mushroom covered in cheese. It was incredible. Really cool tour, the caves. I don't know, it was awesome. I loved it, and we're on our way back, and I'm going to take a big long bus now.
So I loved this tour. However, I had a thought that doing these excursions would be perfect for solo travelers because you have like-minded people wanting to do the same tour. We would have something in common and I wouldn't feel like a solo traveler. However, on this cheese tour, I don't remember talking to a single person. Everyone was in their own, like pairs or groups and just not including of each other at all. Now, maybe that was just this tour.
Aww. Love these towel guys. And this one looks so happy to see me. Yesterday I didn't notice that. Love that. And look what else I had for my room. Little snack. Aww. I love that. Thank you, Crown and Anchor.
I end my day with a nice honey mask.
I'm in my jammies. It's like 6 o'clock and I'm watching the football game. Life of a solo cruiser could not be any happier right now. I'm as cozy as I could possibly be. I've got a full belly, I've got a drink, I am snuggled in bed, and life is good.
Nothing like watching NFL football from a cruise ship pool. After an incident at the pool, I head back to my cabin and I end up watching the rest of the football game from my balcony through my cabin to my TV, which wasn't too bad either, to be honest. And then I do a little bit of afternoon bingo, which I should have skipped. There was this family sitting beside me in the completely packed bingo room, and they had drank, I think, since the minute they woke up, and they were so bad they had to be escorted out of the bingo room, and it ruined the whole thing. And I didn't win. I should have just skipped the whole thing. To ease my losses, I decided to go get a massage, right? My massage was great. However, who designs these ships? They put the spa right below the kids' miniature golf course. What? I'm up early for Cabo Day.
Oh, so pretty. And we are going to Todos Santos, little town about an hour from Cabo, to have Mexican lunch, see some camels, see that little town. I've never seen it.
Who knew they had camels in Mexico? I am so excited for this. Our tour guide was incredible. He said no Mexican bus driver starts his day without a burrito and Mexican coffee, so he brought us both. The burrito was delicious, the coffee was super sweet, and it had to be half a cup of sugar, but it was delicious. Todos Santos is known as Pueblo Mágico, or Magic Town. This little coastal town is so beautiful, and it was originally settled by Jesuit missionaries in 1723. It became a major sugarcane producer for over a century and is now a haven for artists. We wandered the town with a quick stop at the Santa Rosa Mission and the Hotel California.
Actually, tequilas with a little bit more time in the barrel.
You can see the reason it's called a haven for artists. Art is in every form and everywhere here. Use this tip when you want to convert the currency in the country you're traveling in. Use the calculator on your phone. Bottom left, there's a little calculator picture. Click on it and click convert, and then pick the country you're in, and it'll convert the currency to dollars in my case. Next, we're off to the camel experience. I had thought I was going to actually ride a camel, so be sure to double check the excursions because there's one that's an experience and there's one that's actually riding the camels. I got the experience, so we were able to see the dromedary camels and learn about them and their habitat. There's a Mexican resident that took in a bunch of camels that were part of a circus that had stopped traveling. And so he took them in and he runs this habitat, and it's this huge outdoor, beautiful facility that they roam and have a sweet end of their life. It was a special place. The best part of our tour was lunch, and not because of the food. The view from our table, and they had us all sit on one side of the table, so we all had a view of the water. And this afforded us a front and center show of whales breaching over and over and over in the water right in front of us. us. The food was very good, but it wouldn't have mattered as the whales definitely understood the assignment. Just so cool. Now this is excursion number 2. That, these people are interested in camels, they're interested in Todos Santos, we're having this beautiful meal, we're in front of all these whales, we're all excited to see the whales, but no one's talking to each other. It was so weird. I have 2 people on each side of me, and I'm trying to have a conversation and just no one's wanting to engage. So that was definitely disappointing, but maybe the third one, I have another excursion in Puerto Vallarta, and maybe that will prove differently. Remember, Cabo's a tender port, so we tender back to the Navigator and call it a beautiful day. Definitely recommend this tour. Just be mindful of which one you choose for the camels. Just when I thought I could call it a beautiful day, this sunset drops.
Oh my God, it's so undescribable. Look at that. It literally looks like the sky is on fire. Oh my God. This is completely unfiltered sky over Cabo. Holy mother of all that is holy. Look at that. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that in my life.
Absolutely breathtaking. My sea day lets me do a quick tour of the Navigator for you. I purchased the soda package. I didn't realize I couldn't just ask for a can of Diet Coke. I was issued a cup that had to be refilled at one of the soda machines. Not ideal, and I definitely wouldn't purchase that package again. The pool was very nice, but also very crowded, with everyone securing chairs like there would never be another pool chair in their lifetime. It was ridiculous. There's a Johnny Rockets and a taco shop at the pool, as well as Jamie Oliver's. To Jamie Oliver's, and the food was but the dessert was epic. There's also Nazumi's Sushi and Chops, which is kind of a steakhouse for the specialty restaurants on board the Navigator. My final tour is in San Juan Diablo in Puerto Vallarta.
Welcome to Puerto Vallarta, everyone. And we're actually going to San Juan Diablo, tour a chocolate factory, get some chocolate, go to the farmer's market, meet a local chef, and make some mole. So excited.
Perfect for me to engage with a whole bunch of other people that love to cook and food, right?
Much as cacao, right?
We even tasted the chocolate. We stopped at Zazil to see how the tortillas are made, and we get some for our class. We split into groups to make salsa and the mole for the chefs to prepare our lunch. The mole wasn't as good as the one we had in Cabo, but it was handmade, so it was special nonetheless. This tour was good. It wasn't great. I was really hoping that we were going to do more of an actual cooking class. We did more prep and then they kind of took it from there. And another tour that literally no one was communicating with each other. It was so bad that on the tour bus, the tour guide was asking questions and no one was replying to her. And she even said, I'm going to need some participation here in order to enhance your experience on this tour. Like, is everybody awake? It was so bizarre. You know, it felt like people didn't want to be there. It felt a little like they were annoyed on board, and it felt a little like they didn't want to be on the excursions. And for the cost of these excursions, that is just odd to me. So I think the bottom line is you just want to manage your expectations as to what you think your experience with other people may be, because it may or may not turn out that way. There is tons to do on board and you can engage in a million different things. Certainly just sitting down at a bar with other people at the bar, you know, definitely will likely be able to engage. That's not really my thing, but I did meet some people at the pool. Just overall, I had kind of a weird experience with the people, but people speak very highly of the Navigator. And so I'm hoping on my take 2 of the Navigator, which I'll tell you about that too, I have a different experience, or I go in a little more prepared this time so that I might be surprised. Look at this line to reboard the ship. Yikes. One of the best things on the Navigator was this, the ice skating show. I loved this. You definitely want to get here early to get a seat, like early. I think I was here at least 45 minutes ahead of time and it fills up fast, but I enjoyed every second of it. So what did you think? First of all, I would love to hear in the comments if you have taken a cruise and gone solo, what cruise line you were on, where you went, and what you thought of it, and would you go again? So that bodes the question for me, would I go again? And I absolutely would go again. I have a solo cruise booked in January on the Navigator to Puerto Vallarta and Cabo again. This time I also go to Mazatlan, and I booked 3 more excursions, so we'll have something to compare it to. I am not getting a suite. I've got a balcony, but I got another screaming rate on this cruise, and I am super excited to go. Just a couple reminders. You want to be sure to use incognito mode when you're booking any travel. That takes you out of any browsing history. So whatever you're looking at, hotels, airlines, cruises, cars, any of it, they have no idea that you've already been looking. So you will get the best possible rate. Also, don't forget,
If you have a Southwest flight and you're trying to change the time before you pay for anything, because mine was going to be $150 and I was going to pay for it, go on the standby list because it's free and you could very well get on. I did, so yay!
carried my bag off. Remember I said how important it would be to carry your carry-on? I was in line to get off the ship. I got through customs and I was in my Uber in 20 minutes. Now I have 360 Crown and Anchor points, so I can definitely cruise solo and it'll be cheaper. I definitely have a clearer picture now and I would definitely do it again. So appreciate you being part of my travel journeys, and I would love to hear your thoughts on this cruise. If you've cruised the Navigator, what you thought of it, just your experience in general, or your thoughts on the video today.
Figured if we were going to go on a solo cruise together, we could take a solo ride together. We are getting in a Waymo, which is an autonomous car, no driver. Start ride, and we're off. Literally, you see that? There is no one in the car. It's just me. This is crazy, isn't it? I mean, it is 2025. We should be able to have autonomous cars, but I don't know. This is absolutely something to get used to. So it's so nice. I can turn the music off. I can turn it up. I can have a whole dance party. You don't have to tip the Waymo. Bye, Waymo. Thank you.
So as always, thank you so much for being here. And until Bali, my next trip I want to share with you is spending 2 weeks in Bali, Indonesia. And it was absolutely jaw-droppingly extraordinary. Wait until you see how we took on Bali. Bye for now.